subscribe to this channel to hear more about what's going to happen. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Victoria, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my choice in not taking a full-time offer out of college, the reason I decided to do that, as well as the reasons you may consider doing that. I will be sharing some of my experiences throughout college, and then ultimately why I decided to not take a full-time offer. A little bit background about my story, what I studied, and why I decided to not pursue a full-time job out of college. So I studied computer science and business, and I have various internships and co-ops throughout my college experience at various companies. I think I've had 6+ experiences while I was in school, and that was a huge blessing because I was able to experience what real life was going to be like once I started working before I committed to a full-time job. Now thinking back, most of these experiences have always been limited by the time. It was any time between 3 months to 6 months, and the reason for that is they're internships and they are restricted to a time frame. They gave me a really great idea of what full-time job was going to be like and what my life would be like going to a full-time career. And I've had great experiences. I've learned so much about myself, but I realized that it's not really what made me happy or feel fulfilled. All were very high paying, gave me really great benefits and the lifestyle that's like anyone could ask for. And some of these opportunities were, and most of them were in software engineering. I interned as a software development co-op at Workday. I interned at Morgan Stanley in New York City. I interned at Coinbase as a software engineer in San Francisco. I interned as a product manager at a startup in Boston and in New York City. I also even interned in Hong Kong when I was studying abroad there. These experiences all gave me the opportunity to see and experience different parts of the US, what it was like to live in San Francisco, what it was like to live in New York, as well as what it was like to live in Boston, but also work in Boston because that's also where I went to school. Now, at the time I was super excited. You know, it's really hard to get an internship opportunity and a co-op that pays so well, pay for housing, pay for my meals, and I would honestly consider going full-time, but if it wasn't for all my great experiences here, I realized that that's not what I wanted in my life. And a lot of people might be like, wow, you just sound so ungrateful that like you have so many opportunities and you're not even trying to take a full-time offer. I was really considering if that's the route I wanted to go on. When it was my final year of school and I was deciding if I wanted to pursue a career in software engineering, I decided that maybe it was time for me to try something completely different. So I decided to go into product management because although I do like coding and I enjoyed all the things I get to do at work, I really didn't find that much excitement or fulfillment in what I was doing. And product management sounded like a better opportunity for me. And so I did pursue product management and also ended with a full-time opportunity as a product manager. And all of that was amazing and a great learning experience for me. I learned so many things that I honestly would not have learned if I didn't get the opportunity. And I definitely love product management way more than I do love being a software engineer. At the end of the day, I still didn't feel fulfilled. And now you might think I'm just like a millennial who is ungrateful about everything I'm given and all the opportunities. I've really worked really hard to get to where I am today, getting all the various jobs, opportunities, internships. I stepped out of my comfort zone, done a lot of things to get to this point. And up until this point, I'm like, wow, did I decide to throw everything away because I didn't feel fulfilled and happy with my life? And my answer to that is yes. Yes, I decided to throw everything away, but I don't think of it as throwing away. I think of it as deciding I need a new course and another route to take in my life, and that's where I want to head towards. I want to be living a life where I am happy with what I'm doing, where I'm passionate, I'm excited, I'm inspired every day. And working at a 9-to-5 job at a tech company, yes, it feels the day-to-day and it's exciting, it's fun. I've never felt fulfilled working for someone else, and I felt like if I took a full-time job, I'm really setting myself up for doing that for the rest of my life. And that's what was scary. That's what held me back, you know, because all my internships and co-ops really gave me an idea, but it was also time restricted. So I knew when I was going to stop. When thinking about a full-time job, I know it's easy to say, well, you know, in a year or two you can reevaluate and see if you could like go somewhere else or do something completely different. I didn't want to step into that mentality. I wanted to make sure that I'm setting myself up and I give myself a chance to try something before even giving up on it. And of course, like, you could say that I could have like started this or done this earlier, but I never gave it a chance. And I think now is the time to take a big leap and give myself the chance and the opportunity to try something different. And it is scary. It's scary because I'm not sure what that's going to be like. I'm not sure because there's so much unknowns out there. My life has always been set on a course. I think all of us have. We've been through high school, we go through college, we have an idea of like the career we end up deciding on because that's what we think we should be doing. And I've always set my mind on that. And it's really hard to change that mindset, to think that, you know, my life is not just restricted by this narrow path that's been created for me because of my previous experiences and my life choices, right? The choice of getting these internships, the co-ops, and getting these experiences should lead me up to this point. But that's not true. Your life shouldn't be dependent on your past. It should be dependent on where you want to see yourself going towards in the future. And looking back, if I did continue down the same path, I don't think I will ever be fulfilled. It's not the role, it's not the company, it's not the people. At the end of the day, I'm the one who's not happy with what I'm doing. And it took me a lot to think about this, and it was mostly during quarantine that gave me a chance to reflect and to think about what I really want and what I really want my life going towards. Because in 5 or 10 years, do I still see myself working at an office, working at a tech company, you know, getting all the great benefits, the great pay? Do I see myself continuing down that path? Because that's where I'm setting myself up for right now. And I don't want to see myself on that path. And I don't care about the benefits. I don't care about the pay. I don't care about that kind of a lifestyle. I care about a lifestyle where I'm able to make something out of my passions and inspire other people to do things that they love and not really have to go on that traditional path of working a 9-to-5 job. And if I'm that kind of person, I want to be an example for others to do that too. And so I did make that decision while I was in quarantine this year, 2020, a whole new year, also my year, to take that big leap and believe in myself that I can make something happen. And I believe that I can. And I think there's so much opportunities out there that's unexplored. There's limitless opportunities and there's so much unknown. And it's honestly very exciting. You know, it's scary because it's unclear what the future is going to be like. But it's so exciting to know that there's so much out there that we can all do. And it doesn't have to be attaching us to a career choice, to a job. You know, those are the things that gets us by through life. The things that really motivate us to live and to enjoy and to feel fulfilled. And that's what I'm seeking for. And right now, it's just the beginning of the journey. I do feel lost, and I do know that there's a lot of unanswered questions and I'm trying to answer and figure out, but it takes one step at a time. And taking that first step is always the hardest step. I realized that a traditional career may not be what I wanted to pursue. I didn't see myself climbing the corporate ladder. I didn't see myself feeling like I can do something on the side while I was working full time. I honestly had to push myself to the edge where I have nothing else to do except work on myself and work on what I'm passionate and excited about. There's a lot of expectations for you going through school, from your parents, your friends, your peers, people you look up to. All of these things really kind of constrain us to believing that we want something and then not really knowing if that's what we want or what other people want for us. I had to take a deeper look into myself and to think about what really made me happy, and if taking a full-time offer and a 9-to-5 job and living that kind of life. And I've done it for like 2-3 years already with my co-op and internship experiences, but it really restricts myself to thinking like this is the only path to success, and I don't want that. I think that there's so many more opportunities and so many ways of being successful, and on top of that, success really comes from who you think you are. I will be successful when I feel happy, when I feel fulfilled, when I feel like I'm making a big impact on the world. And that's not just to say that a full-time job won't get you there. If working a 9-to-5 job is what you love, and you love what you do, and you love your job and your career and your path and how you'll climb maybe the ladder to becoming more of a senior level employee, like all these things, if that's what makes you fulfilled, that's something you should definitely continue pursuing. But I realized personally it's not for me. Being in school really sets you up with that mentality that success comes when you have a full-time job, when you are doing well at work, but it doesn't tell you that success also comes from how you feel about yourself. The biggest challenge is telling yourself that you're okay with the fact that people are doing all the things and you don't want to do the same things. You just want to do something completely different. And it's scary because there's not many people who want to take that plunge, who want to do that. The quarantine and the whole pandemic is a huge eye-opener for me. It made me realize how I want to live my life. I want to live my life with passion, with excitement, with adventure, all the things that I want to embody. And working a 9-to-5 job, feeling trapped or feeling stuck or feeling like I am only at this job because it gives me the security is not what I want my life to be embodying. And I'm willing to take that chance because I know there's so much more out there in the world. And if this is something you've been considering or thinking about doing, definitely leave in the comments so we can encourage each other to continue pursuing your passions and to lead that traditional career path. Subscribe to this channel to follow my journey.